Hello everyone, welcome to the session on data structures. In this session, we'll be discussing about sorting of arrays. In this session, we will see what we mean by sorting of an array and what are the different methods to sort the elements of the array. Also, we will discuss the algorithms of certain methods and we will also write the corresponding C programs. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and do subscribe to the channel to see many videos on various topics in the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by sorting of an array. We know that array is a linear list of elements. Array can be either one dimension or it can be of two or more dimensions. Now, whenever we have been given the list of elements, then these list of elements can be stored in the successive memory locations. And whenever we want to refer to any element of the array, then that element can be referred through an index variable. If the array is of one dimension, then we will require one index variable. And if the array is of two dimensions, then we will require the two index variables. So the first index variable will refer to the row number and the second index variable will refer to the column number. Now, it is frequently needed that whenever we have been given certain array, then the elements in the array need to be arranged in certain sequence. That is, we need to arrange the array either in ascending order, that is from low to high, or we can arrange the elements of the array in descending order from high to low. We have already seen that in binary search, whenever we want to implement the binary search, then it is necessary to sort the element of the array, and then only we can implement the binary search. So in several applications, you will find that while writing the computer programs, it is necessary for us to sort the elements of the array. Say, for example, you have been given mark score by the student, and now you want to determine what is their ranking among the students based on the marks. So in such a case, you need to arrange the elements of the array, that is the mark score by the students. So there are many methods available for sorting of the elements of the array. So for example, the first method is being called as a selection sort. So this is a simple comparison based method. And the advantage of this method is that it will not require any extra memory. Another method that is being called as a bubble sort. So in this method, we will always compare between the two adjacent elements. And if it is necessary, then we will swap them. So bubble sort is a very simplest method and it is easy to understand. But you will find that this method is an inefficient method. This method is being called as a bubble because it is like a bubble which is coming from down in the water, and therefore the elements are arranged like that only, and therefore it is being called as a bubble sort method. Another method that is being used is called as the insertion sort method. So this is the method in which an element is inserted at the appropriate position, and therefore this method is being called as an insertion sort method. Apart from these three methods, you will find that there are several other methods such as merge sort method. So you can say that the merge sort algorithm is the efficient algorithm that will work on the principle of divide and conquer. Another method that is being used for sorting of the elements is being called as a quick sort method. So as its name indicates, this is the faster method than that of the other methods. So if you want to arrange the elements of the array quickly, then this method is being used. Apart from these methods, there are still some other methods that are available, such as radix sort method, bucket sort method. So many methods for the sorting are being proposed. As far as this session is concerned, we are going to discuss in detail algorithms for selection sort, bubble sort, and insertion sort. We will see what are these methods, how the elements are arranged, their algorithms and corresponding C programs. So now let us go for the first method, and this method is being called as a selection sort method. So this is the simplest type of the method. In this method, what we will do is that we will divide the array into two parts. The first part is being called as a sorted array, and the second part is being called as an unsorted array. So the left part of the array, which is called as the sorted array, and the right part of the array is being called as the unsorted array. Now, initially, all the elements will be in the unsorted array, and the elements in the sorted array will be zero, or there will be no element in the sorted array. Now, we will perform certain steps so that we can shift the elements from the unsorted array to the sorted array. So we'll pick up the minimum element or the lowest element from the given set of elements in the unsorted array. And then we will swap it to the leftmost element of the unsorted subarray. And then you will find that the leftmost element will become a part of the sorted array, and it will not be a part now of the unsorted array. Say, for example, we have been given an array which consists of these numbers 7, 4, 5, 9, 8, 2, and 1. Now, initially, all these elements are the part of the unsorted array, and therefore they are indicated in blue color. Now, what we will do is that we will pick up the minimum among these. We know that the minimum among these is 1, and therefore it is being swapped with this first leftmost element, that is 7. Therefore, 1 will be shifted here and 7 will be shifted here. Now, this 1 becomes the element of the sorted array, and all these are the elements of the unsorted array. Then later, we will again compare the elements of the unsorted array, and we will pick up the minimum and we will swap it with the leftmost element of the unsorted array. And therefore, at the position of 4, the 2 will be shifted, and the 4 will be shifted at the position of 4, at the position of 2. Now you will find that 1 and 2 becomes the elements of the sorted array, and in the unsorted array, we will have the rest of the elements. Again, we will do the same thing, that we will pick up the minimum and then we will swap it to the leftmost position of the unsorted array. And therefore, the 4 will be shifted over here and 5 will get shifted over here. Now we can find that 1, 2, 4 becomes the elements of the sorted array, and the rest of the elements are from unsorted array. Then again, we will do the same thing. We will pick up the minimum and we will swap it. And therefore, you will find that now we will have 1, 2, 4, 5 and as the list of the sorted array, and in the unsorted array we will have 8, 9, and 7. Then we will pick up the 7, and then 7 will be shifted in the sorted array, and in the unsorted array we will have 9 and 8. And then finally we will arrange these two elements so that you will find that now all the elements in the unsorted array are being exhausted, and now we have all elements in the sorted array. So one can easily observe that the elements are arranged in the increasing order. So this is the simplest method, but you can say that it is not an efficient one because the time complexity of this algorithm is of the order of n. Now we can go for writing a pseudocode or an algorithm for the selection sort. Suppose our input is an array A with n elements, and our output will be the sorted array. That is, the elements of the array will be arranged in the increasing order. Now, initially, we will accept the elements of the array and the number of elements in the array, and we will check if the number of elements n is less than or equal to 1, then it means that we have to exit the algorithm. Else otherwise, we will execute a for loop in such a way that the for loop will have the initial value of I 1 to n minus 1. And then every time for the given value of I, we will check if AI is greater than AN. If it is the case, then we will swap the elements of AI and AN. And then again, we will call the same procedure. So it is possible that in the procedure of selection sort, you can call the same procedure again. And this is being called as a recursive method of writing the algorithm. But the only difference is that now the number of elements in the array will be reduced and it will be now n minus 1. So one can easily write a C program for the selection sort. So here we have written a function to swap the values of two values in the array. The values such as array I and array j, the elements are ith element and jth element of the array can be swapped by using this function. Now here we have written the program for the selection sort, and in the selection sort we have taken the arguments such as the array elements I and n. N will stand for the number of elements of the array and I is a control variable. Now initially we will assign the minimum value is equal to I, and then we will execute the for loop for j is equal to I plus 1. We will check every time whether j is less than n, and every time we will increment the j by 1. And then we will check if the array j is less than the array minimum. And if it is the case, then we will update the index of the minimum element by using the statement minimum is equal to j. And then we will swap the elements of the array by using this function swap. And then we will check if I plus 1 is less than n. And if it is the case, then again we will call the same procedure recursively. But the passing of the elements will be array I plus 1 and n. And then this is a function which is being written to print the elements of the array. To print the elements of the array, we can make the use of the for loop. And in the main function, initially we have declared an array where the values of the elements are 3, 5, 8, 4, 1, 9, and minus 2. And then we will determine the size of the array or size of the elements of the array by using the size of operator. And then we will call this selection sort by passing appropriate parameters such as array 0, n. And then finally we will print the elements of the array which must be in sorted order. So when you execute this C program by using appropriate online C compiler, then you will find that at the output you will get the message or the elements of the array as -2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. So one can easily observe that the elements are arranged in the increasing order. Another method that is being commonly used for sorting of the elements of the array is being called as a bubble sort method. So in the bubble sort method, what we will do is that we will compare the two adjacent elements and we will check whether their order is correct or not. That is, we will check for AI and AJ. If AI is greater than AJ, for one is less than or equal to I less than J, which is less than or equal to size of the array. That is, the array is to be in ascending order, or otherwise, if you want to arrange it in the descending orders, then you have to change the comparison. And if it is yes, then you can make the use of swapping of these values. Now suppose we have been given an array of the length n, and in order to sort this array, we need to do n minus 1 passes. And in every pass, we need to do some comparisons. That is, in the first step, we will find the largest element in the first pass. and the largest element will go to the extreme right position, and the second largest element will go in the second pass, and the third largest element will go in the third pass. You can say that in the ith pass, the highest largest element will go at its right place in the array by swapping. Say, for example, we have been given an array which consists of four elements, 7, 6, 4, and 3. Now, in the bubble sort method, what we will do is that we will compare these two elements first. And then, since we want to arrange in increasing order, and 7 is larger than 6, and therefore we will swap the value of 6 and 7. In the first part, the second comparison that we will do is between 7 and 4. And now again 7 is larger than 4, therefore we will make a swapping of these two values. Now in the third comparison, we will compare between 7 and 3, and again 7 is larger than 3, and therefore again we will swap. So you will find that in the first pass, we are making three comparisons for the four elements, and you will find that this 7 is now placed appropriately to the rightmost position. But still the sorting is not over. Now in the second pass, again we will start comparing between the first two values, and 6 is larger than 7, therefore 6 will be shifted to the next position. Then we will compare 6 and 3, and then 6 will be shifted to the next position. So in the second pass, only two comparisons are to be made, and now the 6 is placed at the appropriate position. Now in the third pass, what we will do is that we will compare only first two elements, and now 4 will be shifted to the appropriate place, and now one can easily find that all the elements are arranged in the increasing order. So when four numbers are given, you require three passes, and in each pass you will require the number of comparisons. In the first pass you will require three comparisons, in the second pass you will require two comparisons, and in the third pass you will require only one comparison. So this method that is being called as a bubble sort method. So this method is useful if the given array is already sorted. You can say that it is a best case scenario, and in that case the complexity of the bubble sort method is of the order of n. So bubble sort method can be visualized in the real life. Say for example, you have a queue of people, and now you ask the people to stand in a queue according to the height. So the first and second person will compare with each other, and accordingly they will shift their position. Then second and third, then third and fourth. So this goes on, and then you will find that it is possible to arrange all people in the queue in increasing height order. So the algorithm for this method can be written by making the use of two loops, for loops. So the first for loop that is being used for the number of passes, where the value of I can be 0 to n minus 1. So every time we will check whether I is less than or equal to n minus 1, and we will increment the value of I by 1. And another for loop that can be used is for the number of comparisons, where the variable j is being used. Initial value of j will be 0, and we will always check whether j is less than or equal to n minus I. So as I told you, if there are four elements, then there will be three comparisons, and there will be three comparison in the first pass, two comparison in the second pass, and only one comparison in the third pass. And therefore you will find that here we have taken the value n minus I, and every time we will check if the array element j is greater than the j plus 1th element. And if it is the case, then we will swap them. Now we can write a C program for the bubble sort method. So this is a swap function. This is being written in order to interchange the values of the elements of the array. And then we will write a bubble sort. For in the bubble sort, we will make the use of the two for loops, as explained in the algorithm. This is the first for loop that is being for the number of passes, and this is another for loop that is being used for the number of comparisons. So if array j is greater than array j plus 1, then we will make the swapping of j and j plus 1 element. This is another function that is being written to print the elements of the array. And again, here also we will make the use of the for loop. In our main program, we will initially declare an array with the elements 64, 34, 25, 12, 22, 11, and 90. We will determine the size of the elements of the array by using the size of operator. Then we will call the bubble sort, and then finally we will print the sorted array. So if you execute this program by using appropriate C compiler, then you can observe the output generated will be like this: sorted array 11, 12, 22, 25, 34, 64, and 90. So all the elements are arranged in the increasing order. The third method that is being used for sorting of the array is being called as an insertion sort method. So in the insertion sort method, we will compare the element in the question with its adjacent elements. And then at every comparison level, the element in the question can be inserted at a particular position. And if we require to insert the element, then the space has to be created. So whenever we want to create the space, then we need to shift the rest of the elements either to the right or to the left. So this procedure is being repeated until all the elements of the array are arranged at their appropriate position. Say for example, we have been given a list of elements such as 23, 1, 10, 5, and 2. Now the element in the question will be 23. Now since this is the first pass and there is no adjacent element to the left side, therefore we will keep it as it is. Now in the second pass, we will go for the second element and we will compare it with the adjacent elements. Now since 1 is less than 23, therefore we will swap the positions of 1 and 23 so that we will get the list 1, 23, 10, 5, and 2. In the third pass, we will compare the third element with its adjacent element so that we can insert this 10 at this position so that we can have now the list of elements such as 1, 10, 23, 5, and 2. In the fourth pass, we will consider the element 5 and we will compare it with its adjacent element, and therefore we will insert it at this position so that we can have the list 1, 5, 10, 23, and 2. And finally, we will check for this value 2. We will compare it with the adjacent elements in such a way that the 2 can be inserted after 1 so that we can have all the elements arranged in the increasing order. So this method you can say is an efficient method because the number of comparisons that we need to perform in this method are less. But still, the best case complexity for this method is of the order of n. While for an unsorted array, it takes for an element to compare with the other elements, which mean every n element is to be compared with all other n elements. And therefore, you can say that in this algorithm, we are making n into 1, n into n, that is n square comparisons. We can write the algorithm for insertion sort by making the use of the two for loops. So in the first for loop, we will make the use of the control variable I. And here, what we are doing is that we are checking with our test element, or we are setting with our test element. And then in another for loop, we are comparing it in such a way that j must be greater than 0 and the logical and the temporary variable or the test element must be less than aj minus 1. And if it is the case, then we are moving the position of the test element. So we can write a C program for the insertion sort. So one can easily observe that here what we are doing is that we are making the use of the for loop, and another loop that can be used either a for, or we can make the use of while loop. And one can easily observe that here we are moving the element to the appropriate position by using this while loop. And then we have written one more function for printing of the array element. So in the main program, we are initializing the array, and we are declaring the elements of the array as 12, 11, 13, 5, and 6. We are determining the number of elements of the array, and then we are calling this insertion sort method so that the elements will get arranged. And then finally, we are printing the elements of the array. So when you execute this C program, then at the output, you will find that you will get a message such as the output will be 5, 6, 11, 12, and 13. So all the elements of the array are arranged in the increasing order. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by sorting and how the sorting algorithms and corresponding C programs can be written. Thank you all for viewing the session.